If you have been working in the cryptocurrency industry for a considerable amount of time, you have most likely heard of the term crypto summer. To add insult to injury, the summer of XRP is drawing ever closer, and everything in these markets is ready to go completely nuts. On the other hand, I can assure almost all of you that it is not in the manner that you currently believe it to be. It's important to note that people have recently become way too bullish, way too early. Consequently, this resulted in a significant number of collisions. There are also a lot of distinct geopolitical events that are taking place at the moment, such as Israel and Iran engaged in acts comparable to war. As a result, there are a great deal of elements at play here. Additionally, we are going to provide you guys with an incredible analysis of what the markets are going to look like over the course of the next few months starting today. Therefore, I need you all to pay extremely close attention to what Raoul is about to say and then hit the like button repeatedly so that everyone can see this. Now let's begin watching the video. To tell you the truth, as I mentioned earlier, cryptocurrency markets have a tendency to get crazy. You are aware that this is what we are discussing. There is around $2 trillion worth of cryptocurrency on the market at the moment. By the time this cycle is over, it will have reached between $10 and $15 trillion. If you ask me, that's the return of La Land. When I say that, I mean crypto. This is the kind of opportunity that crypto provides. This has been followed by the Nasdaq in an impeccable manner. Because of this, it continues on. What we do not know is whether we will see an additional 20% or 50% upside in the Nasdaq, or whether it may be much more. In all honesty, you can't tell. The point is, however, that the benefits are substantial. The prices of commodities will also begin to rise. Moreover, we will see precious metals have been showing signs of improvement. As the economy continues to expand, we will observe an improvement in all aspects of the economy, including the stock market. As of right now, inflation is not an issue. Additionally, in order to pay their loans, the central banks are lowering interest rates and increasing liquidity. That's the definition of utopia. In other words, crypto is that. Both a summer and an autumn on a gigantic scale. It's essentially the perfect market state. There is a sizable population of people who are seeking justice for themselves. It is their desire for the system to collapse so that they may say, "I told you so." All of this is unsustainable because you are printing money, you are causing inflation, and you are engaged in this activity. This 8% debasement is literally all of us getting taxed 8% for a put option on the system, which is actually maybe not that horrible, but they don't want to see it. They don't want to see it because they don't want to realize what is truly occurring. The fact that technology surpasses what was considered to be the appropriate method to invest, which was the value investor, is something that a lot of people who aren't invested in technology can't abide. That thing represents the cyclical commodity with deep value. And despite the fact that it has been ineffective for 30 years, they still want it to be reinstated. As a result, they become increasingly agitated as the market continues to move. After that, they begin to make predictions regarding the manner in which it will come to an end. Markets, are not likely to crash unless they are further out on the risk curve before they do so. At the same time that the business cycle is picking up, however, markets do not crash. When the business cycle begins to slow down, they experience a crash, and let's say that the ISM comes in at 50. At this stage of the cycle, anything like that never occurs. To put it another way, there is no substantial reasonable argument. In addition, the Federal Reserve is currently lowering interest rates. They are increasing the amount of liquidity in the system. There is a positive sentiment in the market, and the ISM is going to begin picking up on all of the signs that are looking forward. In light of this, it is quite challenging to claim that there is a bubble and that it is going to burst. Quickly, before we begin watching the film, I would want to express my gratitude to xrp for making it possible for us to watch this video. It is a brief teaser video that they have supplied for you all to watch. Let's find out what the deal is all about. The Lulu, it's fascinating. Please let me know what you think about this if you don't mind. Check out the links that are provided below if you are interested in learning more about xrp. Alright, let's get started with the video. And when we come to the debate about the bubble, another thing that they fail to take into account is the fact that when they look at price earnings, they say price earnings keep going up there. Extremely high prices are being incurred. On the other hand, if you recall the story of your profits and the rate at which house prices are increasing, you will see that house prices are constantly increasing at a faster rate than your earnings. As for price earnings, what exactly is it? Specifically, the share price is the one that is affected by debasement, and the earnings of corporations, which are driven by the expansion of the GDP. Consequently, as time passes and we continue to introduce liquidity into the system, the everything code indicates that price earnings will continue to increase as a result of this dynamic happening, but most people are unable to comprehend it. Therefore, people look to a world that existed in the past. Having said that, all of this has actually been done before. This has been around for quite some time. They proceeded in this manner after the end of World War II. They stimulated the economy by controlling the yield curve, which was one of their methods, and by refinancing the debts, they were able to grow their way out of the situation with relative ease. And from roughly 1948 to roughly 1968, we went through the exact same cycle of 4 years consecutively. Therefore, we had 20 years of it at that time. I feel the need to emphasize one particular fact that is of utmost significance in this context. Furthermore, there is the fact that the markets are 10 weeks behind the global liquidity markets. Naturally, we have observed that the new stimulus package for China does not even show up. According to this, the charts have not yet been updated. All of the new money that is being generated by the Federal Reserve and all of the new money that is being printed by China is not realized in the markets until around 10 weeks after it occurs. This is the essence of what this entails. In addition, we are aware that China has restarted the money printer, and the Federal Reserve is also intending to do the same thing. Hence, this is the situation for which we need to be ready. That is something that each and every one of you must comprehend. When quantitative easing or money printing is implemented, it does not necessarily indicate that the markets will immediately plunge into a frenzy of activity. In point of fact, the counterintuitive outcome is more likely to occur. Now, if you guys have been watching my films, you would have seen that I was talking about that from the beginning. In one of my most recent videos, I discussed this very same phenomenon, and as it turns out, we did end up getting a pretty solid correction on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is likely to move up again since the stochastic relative strength index RSI is indeed getting closer and closer to an oversold position. Keeping this in mind, we are going to start to witness a lovely little pullback. Therefore, if any of you who are currently watching this video are interested in initiating a long position on either Bitcoin, Ethereum, or even XRP within the next few days, this is going to be an extremely wonderful chance for you to do so. And if you guys do that and sign up using my link, you will be instantly registered into my next trading competition. I will be looking forward to seeing you, everyone. This does in fact provide XRP prizes. And if you want to be entered into this competition, you can trade whatever cryptocurrency you like. All you have to do is sign up by using my link, and you will also receive $100 in trading and depositing bonuses whenever you do so. However, despite this, there are a few more things that we need to pay attention to in the short term that are going to have a significant impact on the markets, and Raoul Pal is going to delve deeper into this topic. Pay attention to what is being said. The answer was that macroeconomics would generate all of the gains in extremely short periods of time in markets that were catastrophic. Due to the fact that I am familiar with that playbook, a market such as COVID was ideal for me. It is really quick that you make a lot of returns. However, macro is becoming even more challenging. A few macro possibilities have presented themselves since 2012, but there have not been many of them. In the aftermath of the debt crisis in Europe, what did people have? A precipitous drop in the price of oil occurred in the years 2016 and 2015. The middle of the year saw a respectable increase in the value of the dollar, and that was about it. Equities, on the other hand, outperformed everything else, and the macro guys failed to recognize that trend. This was the work that I did over COVID when I first started to think about the debasement of currency, and then I started to think about the exponential era of technology and where this is headed, and this was the work that I performed. And you arrive at the point where you realize, oh my God, this is all exactly the same thing. What you need to know is that we are experiencing rising markets which are generating more capital that is flowing into technology. There is driving technology. We are experiencing the fastest pace of technical progress in the history of humanity. And the central bank has eliminated the major dangers that are associated with the negative. Now, all of a sudden, the data is telling you to adopt an optimistic outlook. This indicates that we are currently experiencing secular tendencies, notably in the fields of technology and cryptocurrency, i.e., in spite of the fact that they are volatile, each low is higher than the one that came before it. What's more, when you consider everything, they have exceeded everything. In spite of the fact that you've experienced such volatility and may be wondering, why was I so stupid? To tell you the truth, I could have started my career by simply purchasing NASDAQ, and I would have succeeded much more than I did. However, the narrative surrounding the large-scale collapse is extremely captivating. The fear is the reason why so many individuals avoid going to the market. In addition, there are a great number of people on X who have made their entire livelihood off of the dread of the system collapsing. And I am aware that you have been involved in that situation in the past. And the dread of the market collapsing prevents you from investing. It prevents you from purchasing a home. Watch what transpired, shall we? Due to the fact that you missed everything, your future self did not express gratitude to you, your past self. That is something that I have done. As you are aware, I did not own any equity at any point,